Alright legends, welcome back to another DIY installation video. In this video we're going to be tackling the Nissan Patrol Y62. Yet again, a million DIY videos for this one, but this is our tail light tint kit. So this kit is designed to cover the inner section of your tail light, not the entire tail light itself. That way you just remove the chrome, the indicators and the reverse lights a little bit. So it does give it a good overall look, and then we cover on how to install the lower reflectors. Now, when installing the lower reflectors, please make sure that you check your state for legalities of this. Sometimes different states do vary whether you can tint reflectors or not, so please just keep that in mind before purchasing that product. You can do the tail lights itself and just not do the reflectors. Okay, so in this kit you're going to receive your pre-cut out DIY kit, an application squeegee. You're going to receive two tucking tools. So the red one's quite firm and the blue one's quite flexible. Whether you need them or not, it's up to you. If you see us not using it in video, then that's perfectly fine. You'll also receive one little knife with a fresh blade in it. What you're also going to need is a couple of cleaners. So any multi-purpose cleaner will do, just to clean up the tail light. A wax and grease remover, just remove stage 1. And then a number 3 to remove stage 2. So the number 3 is the final cleaner, and that'll give you a perfect base to install these kits. You're going to also need either a hairdryer or a heat gun. Hairdryer works perfectly fine because there's not going to be a lot of stretch that happens in this kit. It's just so much to activate the adhesive with a little bit of heat and make sure it sits down nicely. What you're also going to need is at least 5 or 6 microfibers just to clean everything up. So what we like to do here is keep our steps separate, so 1 microfiber to each step. That way it'll just avoid any cross-contamination, which will affect the overall durability and longevity of the final install. Okay, so once you've got all that ready to go, guys, then we can proceed to the next step. Alright guys, so what you're going to do is you're going to come to the back of the car, you're going to open up the boot here. We're going to work on the outsides first, that way we can get a nice clean line, and when we finish doing these ones, we'll close the boot and just follow that line through. That way you're not going to get some awkward little shapes happening. Okay, so we'll just start with the prep work here. We've already cleaned it, but we'll just give it another wipe down. So we're going to go with the stage 1 with your multi-purpose. Make sure you're getting into that crevice as well. And just tidy everything up here. Proceed with your stage 2, so that's your wax and grease remover. Some multi-purposes come with a degreaser in them, so we just want to make sure that gets removed as well, because the film does not like it. Another thing you want to keep mindful of is, in here is a little sort of divot. A little channel in there, so if you give it a bit of a spray, grab one of your tucking tools, wedge it into your microfiber, and just make sure that's nice and clean, because we will be feeding the film in there. And if you come around to the side here, then there's going to be that little bit of excess just to cover that first strip. Okay. So we are going to grab the correct side, which is this one. We're going to lift it off from the back here. And what you want to do is we're going to scooch around this way. All you have to do is try to wedge it into that channel there. It doesn't have to be perfect. So as soon as you get that point there, we'll just press this down. Then you'll come around to this side. And it doesn't require much stretch. You're just sort of following it through, like so. Okay, so we're just trying to find a line where it's covering the chrome here. And what you do, you just grab your squeegee, like so. You've done that, once it's laid down nicely, we'll grab our red tucking tool and just make sure that's pressed into there. So once that's done, pretty straightforward. You're going to grab your application squeegee and you're going to use the hard side. So what we're going to do, we're going to lift it up from this channel here, just to about there. We're going to go right to the edge, and then we're going to feed it in. So you can press it in like so. Once you've got that channel, just lean the squeegee over this way, and that'll fold that nicely. Okay. So once you're up to this stage, what we're going to do is just add a little bit of heat. There is a casting bubble in the headlight itself, so when they, the tail light, when they make these tail lights, you'll see a little dot in there. So don't be disheartened if there's a little bubble. Don't try to overheat this tail light because you will crack the plastic. What we do is just get all these little air bubbles out. We'll press it down with a microfiber, sort of just massage it in. Don't go up and down because you might catch the top or bottom. So it's best just to do horizontal motion with it. So then we'll come around to this side, and then we'll just final sort of push. So you can just use your fingers, press that down like so. Okay. Now it does require a little bit of trimming, so we have done this for the sake of when you grab it with your fingers, it's not going to contaminate the area. If you are wearing gloves, it's going to make it easier. You're just going to rest your blade on the edge of the red part here. And this is what we call a flush cut. So when you flush cut it there, it's nice and easy to install. Okay, so that consistency all the way through. And then we're going to move on to the inner portion. So as you can see the difference already, guys, it's, you know, just removing that chrome effect on the inside. You're still going to have that visibility, so it's not going to make it too dark, especially at night time. So our priority is safety. So we're not going to provide a kit that's going to cause any sort of harm down the track. So give it a wipe down, it's clean, ready to go. So you're just going to follow the shape there. So we'll grab this here. Now the reason why we do the outside first is we're just going to line up this edge. Like so. A little bit of a stretch, nothing too crazy. Press it down there. Okay, so we have oversized this one, so there's a little bit of room for error, but essentially, unless you're looking at it really close, you're going to tell that it might be one crooked or it's not following the line perfectly. It really depends on how pedantic you want to be with it. For the overall gist of the installation, what we're going to do now is just lift this corner. So this one also has that channel. So we're going to feed it into the channel there, press it down like so, and then fold over while pressing in. That should remove any sort of air bubbles that are trapped in there. Alright, this one's a bit more of a snug fit, but if you do have any overhang, what you're going to do, open it up, and that's pretty perfect in there. So if you do have any sort of overhang, you can come around and just trim anything off. So there's nothing for us to trim here, it's pretty bang on. Okay, once that's done, then you just grab your heat gun. Give it a bit of a heat. Now remember again, it has that casting point here and also another casting point there. Just make sure that gets pressed out. And when you're heating and massaging, remember we're going to go this way. So if I go that way and I flick up with the microfiber this corner, then it's going to get fibers caught into it. It's going to affect the overall finish. Press down and then go massaging this way. there you go. So as you can see guys, that's the end result for this side here. As you can see, compared to the other side, it just adds a little bit more flair. It's nothing too crazy. It's just one of those 1%ers. So now we're going to move on to doing the lower reflectors, which is pretty straightforward. But again, like I said, please check your state, as reflectors are legal or illegal to tint or modify in certain states. So please keep in mind, you can still purchase these kits here, but just be mindful. So we've just got the hazards on now. As you can see, there's not much difference in visibility. So the vinyl wrap tint that we use is designed for tail lights. So essentially it's allowing light to escape, but just giving that overall smoked look. So you're still going to have that safety out at night time. People are still going to see what you're doing and where you're turning. Especially with the reverse lights, they haven't come on yet, but you can sort of see the gist of what's going on here. Alright, so we're going to come down to doing these reflectors. As you can see, it does build up a fair bit of water here. We haven't even touched it, and there's water retention in these areas. Probably because when we were doing another installation, all this water sort of seeped behind here. So the focus on getting this prepared is the vinyl will not stick to any moisture, and it will essentially ruin the adhesive side of the vinyl. So we're just going to get a wipe down. This is a good time to use one of your tucking tools if you haven't used it already. Just wedge it in, preferably the blue one, because it's a little bit more flexible, and then you can clean around top and bottom, especially to that corner there. And just removing any excess dirt and debris that builds up around these areas. And then go ahead and give it a spray with number 1. It's your multi-purpose. And then we just like to go with a number 3. So with the isopropyl alcohol, it will sort of fade away. And it has a beautiful smell to it. And that should be ready to go. So we're going to grab our kit now. We did design the kit to be a couple of mil overhang, so if you just place it central to the actual reflector itself, we're going to work on the inner corner first. So trying to get it lined up, let's tack the outer side. So as you can see, there's a couple mil on either edge, and we're just going to follow through, keeping it nice and straight, and that should join up nicely there. I'm just going to get all the air out from the center, and then we're going to grab our heat gun. Obviously we're going to try press down these letters first. So not too much heat. Grab a finger in a microfiber and just press them down like that. Press the top. Okay, then we work on the outer edge. Grab one of your tucking tools. So what we're trying to do is, with the heat gun, we're going to relax all these edges. So we'll work on the bottom first. As we work the bottom, we'll come around the edge. See how it's quite flexible, and we're pushing straight in. Straight in there. Straight at the top. Then once you've got it tucked in, then we're going to come around, press it down, like so. And with the outer edge here, just press it down with our finger and see if we can fold it nicely. And there you have it, guys. There's one reflector done. We're going to go ahead to the other side and do a time lapse for you and get the others done quickly as possible. So this installation should take you about, I'd say, half an hour. start to finish. So it's nice and quick and easy process. And hopefully, yeah, enjoy the time lapse. Right, and there you have it, guys. Nice and easy installation of our taillight tint kit with the reflectors added. So again, it keeps that nice aesthetic of the red, because the red is quite nice. It's not you know, in your face all the time, but it just eliminates all that little bit of chrome. So it's a nice little addition. There's a lot of customers that do get it done, and it was a fan favorite a while ago. It was one of our first products that we ever introduced to the world. But we have grown since then, but unfortunately we never did an installation video for it. So now you have it, now you can stop complaining, you can buy our kits, and happy days.